Good afternoon and welcome to the very first episode of Plug It In with Seeff Properties. That's right, Peter? Did I say it right?
No, you didn't. Plugged in with Seeff Properties.
Plugged in with Seeff Properties.
But it's our first episode, so I can't blame you.
You can't blame me.
Okay.
Okay, right, so we're here today and we're going to tell you lots of amazing and fun facts that you need to know about mortgages. And we have like a legend here. So if you know James Bond, it's kind of the same thing because James Bond walks in and be like, Bond, James Bond. So here we have Macmillan. Teku.
My name is Mac. Mac is short for Macmillan.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only name I have, by the way.
Oh, okay.
No middle name?
No middle name.
Okay.
Macmillan Teku. I'm head of home loans, Stanbic Bank, currently here. And I've been in banking for about a decade now. Done different things in banking, but currently now I'm in property finance to be specific. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to us chatting and having like a very insightful conversation.
Let's tackle the issue at hand, mortgages. I was very passionate at this being the first topic in the show. I remember when we were at the office and we were trying to figure out what we wanted to talk about. And I said, you know what, guys, at my age, I'm not really that young. I know I look it, but at my age, mortgages are the most confusing things to ever explain to someone. I work in a property company, so most people my age, when we meet and interact, that is possibly the first question they ask me, because the narrative is that property is a great investment, especially when you're young. We want you to make it as simple as you just did, of just saying that the bank is what brings you your dreams.
Yeah.
It's your interlink to your dreams. So we want that expertise, and we want our listeners to really get to the root of what mortgages are. So I think you can take it from here.
I'm going to break it down for you in a much simpler form. I hope it's simple enough. So a mortgage in principle, in essence, is you have a property, right?
Yep.
Right? Either you want to build that property, either you want to buy the property, or you have a property already you want to refinance. Either way.
Yeah.
So basically, what you are doing is you have a dream. I've spoken about it.
Uh-huh.
You have a dream of making, being a homeowner. Let's just talk about you buying a property. You have a dream of becoming a homeowner. So the thing is, at that moment in time, you don't have that 800,000, 900,000, 1 million put into the property. You don't have it. So what then you do is, a mortgage is basically just an agreement between you and a financing institution. Is a formal agreement to say, as a financing institution, we're giving you money so that you can pay the seller of the property, and you give us the property as security, right?
Okay.
As collateral, I would say collateral as security. There's that simple exchange.
So once they get the property, it's still owned by the financer.
It is still owned by whoever has bought it. Yes, until it remains under your names.
Okay.
So it's still Lito's property.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's bonded to an institution.
Okay.
The institution facilitated that for you to be able to buy that property.
Okay, I get that.
Yeah. So that's basically, in essence, what is called a mortgage. So your property is mortgaged with the bank, or it's bonded.
So it's still my property, but it's bonded to the bank.
Yeah.
Okay.
Until you fully pay it off.
Yeah. Okay.
So basically, it's an exchange. Basically, the property still belongs to you, but it's bonded to the bank until you fully pay it off. So then that money that you got to actually purchase the property, you pay it back in equal monthly installments a period of time. So then you can pay it over 10, 15, 20, 25 over a period of time. So monthly, then you pay back. You don't have to bring it all as 800,000 back to the bank. Then once you finish paying off, then you can release the bond, the property from being bonded to the bank, and you still have your property. So that's basically a mortgage transaction. That's how it works.
The next question though, because now you've gone into we have an installment, and then we can choose 10, 15 or 20 years, also depending on the criteria of the client. So the most important thing, the question I get asked most often is, what is a mortgage rate?
So basically, a mortgage rate is, in simple terms, an interest rate on the loan.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a loan, it obviously attracts some interest.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that rate is a mortgage rate. So it gets charged on the loan for the period that you're going to be paying it back. So if it's usually, I think I'll just maybe also touch here to say there are factors that come into play for maybe an institution to decide on what rate it's being charged for a client. And obviously the most basic one or the most obvious one would be the fluctuation or the movement in the prime lending rate. Obviously, yeah, determined by the central bank.
Mm-hmm.
So it does play a part, a huge part actually. In then the banking institution will play with margins. You always hear prime plus or prime minus. Yeah, so that's how it is. So basically, the central bank will say prime. Currently, the prime is 5.25%, 5.25, and then the institution would either add margin, or maybe a margin of 3, a margin of 2, however, and then or subtract depending on how they are comfortable. So basically, that's a mortgage rate.
So let's say there's a certain amount that you have to pay every month as the rate. If you exceed that amount, maybe let's say by double, does that help at all in the rate?
So basically, your loan is structured in such a way that every month it expects you to pay, say, 4,000.
Yeah.
For instance, every other month it expects 4,000 to come. But there's an opportunity that you can pay more than 4,000.
Yeah.
And if you pay more than 4,000, what it does is it actually goes to reduce your capital or the outstanding amount on your loan. So it helps, like to Galen's point, it would have moved the loan quicker than it would have. So it actually helps. If you want to pay your mortgage faster than your agreed term, you can actually put extra payments or extra.
Okay, so it doesn't change the rate, but it helps on the amount owed.
Yeah,
or the duration.
Yeah.
And remember,
Okay.
interest is charged on the outstanding balance.
Oh,
So it actually helps you save. So if you are able to pay your mortgage quicker, it actually helps with saving over time.
Yeah.
Now the question that I've been dying to ask, which is, when is the right age to get a mortgage?
I think I'm gonna give you this opinion. There are varying opinions, obviously. Everybody has their own opinion based on their experience of life, and obviously have based on what they want to achieve at what certain point in life. But in my own view, the earlier the better. The earlier the better. Do remember, a person has sort of like a financial life cycle of a person has stages.
Yeah.
There's where you are a student, and then you start to work, and then as you keep going up, a lot of things you start to accumulate a lot of things, and so it's usually, in my own opinion, better for you as early as you are stable. Yeah. So the earlier the better, because remember, mortgage is a long-term commitment. So assuming you get mortgage at 25, Galen says she was 21.
She's a show off. Let's run.
Assuming you are 25,
Yeah.
and you get a 20-year loan. So by the time you are 45, you are done.
You're a property owner, yeah.
And usually, just imagine around by the time the person is between 35 and 45, or 40 and 50, what really happens? Your kids are starting to be teenagers, and
They need,
so things like that start happening around your life, and medical expenses as well. Your parents, maybe they start demanding some of the medical expenditure because they're also getting old at that point. So I think if you are able to actually get the mortgage thing then, so that you don't have to clutter everything or all the debts at a certain point in time in life. So I think it's better for you to get a mortgage as early
as possible.
That's good advice, though.
Okay, now that's actually,
His reasons behind it are also
yeah.
I'll break it down why I'll say that.
Yeah.
In terms of you perhaps looking at what you're paying to rent. Let me make an analogy for you.
Yeah.
So if you are paying rent right now, right? So I'm assuming, I'm going to give a very typical example. So if you are paying rent, say on an apartment, perhaps you're paying rent around 3,000-4,000.
Yeah.
And the owner of the apartment perhaps has a mortgage on it, and they're paying back around about the same amount, if I may. So chances are the owner of that apartment's mortgage is being paid by you, the tenant.
No, definitely.
At least a percentage of
Yeah.
At least a good percentage of it.
Yeah, most definitely.
And just hypothetically thinking, if they have children your age, by the time you are ready to move out and get, their children would have had been a step ahead.
But now, where do I start now? Like, if I say, okay, you know what, I'm at the age of 25, 26, 27, 21, and I want to get a mortgage. Where do I start? Do I go to my banker and say, I want to get a mortgage, advise me? What is the step I should take?
So it's always important, as soon as, obviously, we wouldn't want to put pressure. Pressure as a society in general as well,
Yeah.
onto people to say get
Get a yeah.
right. Yeah, but when somebody is stable and ready, and as like I've said, as early as possible, the first thing for you to be able to do is you have to visit your banker, right? Your banker would tell you. You have open financial discussions about your finances
Yeah.
with your banker. Your banker would be able to let you know or advise you to say, looking at how much you're making now, this is ideally how much of a property you can afford. And how much of a property you can afford would be found in area A or area B or area C. So then that really just advises how you can go about it. So I think the first thing is, obviously you as a person has like an individual dream, or you have a sort of like preferences and taste and locations you want to live in. So those have to be obviously meshed up with what you can afford at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing wrong with you being able to look into other options as well, as per the advice. So it is important to actually visit your banker. It is important to actually get.
So the bank is like a financial doctor.
yes, yeah.
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 To kind of diagnose first what is the direction you can go in.
Because it really helps also, like I've been saying, it helps narrow down your search.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps narrow down, and it also advises, and it also not only narrows down your search, but it also opens up your understanding to opportunities available within what you can afford in the market. I mean, if you have that, and combined with knowledge obviously that you get from yourself as real estate professionals, you are able to assist the client to say, okay, the client can go to the bank and come to you and say, the bank says I can buy a property of 900,000. Then you know where to get the client by interviewing the client also to say, okay, properties in this range are found in 1, 2, 3 areas, and you make informed decisions in